Meghan Markle's show With Love Meghan has got blasted, but this time by a comedian from Netflix. It does seem to me that Netflix is telling us how they really feel about Megxie in a series, but just allowing the comedians under their roster to say it for them. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to the Dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much caught me eye. And oh my goodness, let's jump into this madness, shall we? Because like I said, Megxie's show is blasted, but this time by a comedian from Netflix. And as I said before, Netflix does seem to be telling us how they really feel about Megxie in a series, but just allowing the comedians under their roster to actually say it for them. Because this ain't the first time that a comedian from Netflix has actually blasted Megxie. So I'm going to actually talk it through with you guys right now. So this is the newest kind of situation that's unraveling with this latest comedian from Netflix. And so her name is Christina Pazzitzky, and if I've mispronounced that, I apologize. She's a successful stand-up comedian best known as Christina P, and she's concluded that Megxie is no Martha effing Stewart. And so she went on to TikTok and went on an absolute tirade against Megxie and her show. She says, quote, "I don't know what the F this show is. She's an actress playing the part of a human being right now, and it's not working. The problem from minute one is that she's trying to be perfect all the time, and it reads as phony, as inauthentic, and not fun." Now, Christina is successful in her own right on Netflix. She's had 2 successful Netflix comedy films called Mum Jeans and Mother Inferior. She lives in LA. She's also starred in 3 of his own Netflix shows, her husband Tom Segura's Netflix shows. They both have hugely successful podcasts. Like, these guys, they're successful. This female comedian blasting Megxie is absolutely successful, the kind of success that Megxie would kill for. Now, Christina doesn't stop there. Oh, no. She says more in her TikTok video. She says, quote, "When Martha Stewart came out, I remember women being like, yeah, right, like who's at home making their own beeswax candles? Yeah, right, bish. Who's making their own croutons from scratch? Well, who was Martha effing Stewart? Because that's who she was. That's who she is. She was doing all this crafty stuff even when the cameras weren't rolling. But Meghan Markle wants you to believe that she's a beekeeper, that when her friends come to visit, she's making bath salts for them in a jar. And you know what she's doing for her dearest friend coming over to spend the night? She's making bath salt for him, and she popped popcorn off a real corn on the cob. And then she goes, you know what this popcorn needs? Truffle oil." Like what? Who has truffle oil really in their home? I mean, I know I don't. Christina then says that her guests will get, if they're lucky, wine, a bag of Cheetos, and some of the green, or cigarettes if they smoke. Like I said last week, I had my best mate come over when my oldest best mates come over the weekend. Did I make freaking bath salts for her and whatnot? No! I just got some snacks in from the nearest M&S, some non-alcoholic wine, some pop, ordered in a Chinese takeaway, and Job's a freaking good one, who then sat on my couch watching some films and having a good old girly chat and a catch up. That's it. So yeah, I'm with Christina on this one, to be fair. Questioning Megxie, she then goes on, quote, "She doesn't really do this shiz. There's no way she's making rainbows out of fruit every Saturday." Exactly. Who has the time to freaking do this shiz? She says, "There's no way she's doing any of this. It hurts my stomach to watch it." Saying, look, it was painful to actually watch Megxie and a friend. Saying, quote, "So I'm watching her and her oldest dearest friend spontaneously talk about how when they worked on Suits together, in between her hard job of acting, she would go into a trailer and then work on a website, The Tig. And her friend is like, you mean you were working and then you were working some more? How did you do that? How did you have a room on Suits and then make a website?" And then, Christina's laughing sarcastically as she's saying this. Then going on in terms of Megxie making pasta, she then says they're painfully cutting every single tomato and you have to watch them cut. and like the guy doesn't know how to do it and he cuts his finger, and then she gives him like an artisanal green coloured band-aid. You're like, what the F is this? And then she plates him pasta and gives him like the teeniest little, like teeniest amount, like an enragingly small amount of pasta. Because, you know, we eat. Megsy, though, you know, looking at the shape of her and everything, yeah, she may not eat as much as us. Her portions may be a little bit smaller than us, guys. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But this is the thing, right? This isn't actually the first time that a comedian on Netflix has actually blasted Megsy. Which kind of gives me the opinion of, well, hang on a minute. Is Netflix really telling us how they feel about Megsy in a series, but they're just allowing the comedians under their roster to say it for them? Because if you guys remember, about a month and a half ago now, Netflix did this launch party in LA. And this was the headline that came around. Meghan and Harry ridiculed by a comedian at prestigious Netflix event in LA just weeks before Megsy launched a show. Now, the comedian in question here is John Mulaney. He's debuting his own live talk show in a couple of days' time on March the 12th. And he says, quote, "This will be the one place where you might see Arnold Schwarzenegger sitting next to Nikki Glaser, sitting next to a family therapist with music by Mannequin Pussy. This is a really fun experiment. Not since Harry and Meghan has Netflix given more money to someone without a specific plan." Now, just with what Christina has said, what John Mulaney is saying here is not only funny, but it's true as well. It's true as well. And the reactions from the audience, some were snickering and some were like, whoa, a little too close to the bone there. You're getting a little bit truthful for our liking. I don't think he was truthful enough, to be fair, in all honesty, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. The whole Netflix contract between Netflix and Megsy and Hazza is essentially a great example of daylight freaking robbery. But this is the thing. Again, I've just shown you another example. This ain't the first time that a Netflix comedian has blasted Megsy and Hazza. Which gives me the thought of, well, hang on a minute. Maybe Netflix is really trying to tell us how they feel about Megsy in a series and Megsy and Hazza overall, but they're just allowing the comedians under their roster to say it for them. As Christina has said in her latest TikTok post, she's no effing Martha Stewart. And I definitely agree with her on that one. With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, and believe me, of course, there's going to be more. You do not want to miss my next video. Then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Do you think that, you know, this many Netflix comedians speaking out against Megsy and Hazza, I don't think it's a coincidence, do you? Do you think it's Netflix's way of telling us how they really feel about Megsy, Hazza and their shows, but just allowing the comedians under their roster to say it for them publicly? What do you think about that theory? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I appreciate all your faces. And until the next time, you guys, laters.